In a world full of distractions, staying focused isn't just a skill, it's a necessity. The modern environment is brimming with noise, and everywhere we turn, there's something vying for our attention. Work distractions, home distractions, the endless demands of daily life. Focus has become a rare and precious commodity. But here's the good news. Focus isn't an inborn trait. It's a practiced discipline. It's something you can cultivate and refine like a craftsman sharpens his tools. And the rewards, they're extraordinary. A focused mind achieves more in a day than a scattered mind achieves in a week. A focused individual stands out in their career, builds meaningful relationships, and creates a life of purpose and accomplishment. Think about it. When was the last time you were fully present, completely immersed in a task, and truly engaged? That's the power of focus. It allows us to cut through the noise, align with our goals, and make meaningful progress. Distraction, on the other hand, robs us of our potential. It's a thief, and it steals in small, unnoticed increments, a minute here, an hour there, until suddenly you look back and wonder where the time went. My goal today is to share with you 6 powerful strategies to stay focused, not only for the short bursts of productivity, but for the long haul, where it really counts. Focus requires effort. It demands commitment. But most importantly, it calls for clarity. Clarity of purpose, clarity of priorities, and clarity of thought. The more you refine your focus, the more natural it becomes. And once you understand these 6 strategies, you'll have the tools to guard your attention, direct your energy, and accomplish the things that matter most. Here we go. Strategy number 1. Define your priorities with absolute clarity. To stay focused, you need to know what you're focusing on. This might sound obvious, but you'd be surprised how many people spend their days consumed by activities that don't align with their true priorities. It's like setting off on a journey without a destination. You'll travel far, but you'll never arrive. Clarity is where focus begins. Without it, even the most disciplined efforts can lead to frustration. Imagine standing at a buffet with every kind of food imaginable. You've got a plate in your hand and you start loading it with anything that looks appealing. Before you know it, your plate is overflowing and you've lost track of what you truly wanted. Life works the same way. If you try to do everything, you'll find yourself stretched too thin to give your best to anything. That's why it's crucial to define what matters most. Start by asking yourself, what are my top 3 priorities right now? Not 10, not 20, 3. Why 3? Because simplicity fosters clarity. When you focus on fewer priorities, you give each one the attention it deserves. Write them down. Seeing them in front of you reinforces their importance. Defining your priorities creates a roadmap for your energy and attention. Now, clarity isn't just about identifying priorities, it's about aligning your actions with them. It's one thing to say, I want to get in shape, but it's another thing to prioritize exercise in your daily routine. This alignment is where the magic happens. When your actions reflect your priorities, focus becomes natural. It's no longer a struggle to stay on track because your actions are fueled by purpose. But clarity also requires the courage to say no. And saying no can be one of the hardest things to do, especially in a world that often equates busyness with success. Yet, every yes you say to distractions is a no to your priorities. Think about that the next time someone asks for your time or attention. Is this truly aligned with what matters most to me? If the answer is no, then don't be afraid to decline. Focus thrives in an environment of clarity, and clarity comes from asking the right questions. Where am I going? What do I want to achieve? How will I get there? When you can answer these questions with confidence, you're not just setting yourself up for success. You're giving yourself permission to focus on what truly matters. That's strategy number one, and it's extremely important. Define your priorities with absolute clarity. Here's strategy number two. Eliminate distractions. Ruthlessly. Distractions are the enemy of focus. They're sly and persistent, creeping into your day and pulling you away from what truly matters. If you want to stay focused in a distracted world, you must learn to recognize these distractions and remove them with purpose. I use the word ruthlessly because that's exactly what it takes. Distractions don't give up easily. They will fight for your attention, so you must fight harder to protect it. Imagine you're a farmer planting seeds in a field. You work hard to prepare the soil, plant the seeds, and water them. But what happens if you don't remove the weeds? Those weeds grow faster than your crops, stealing nutrients and sunlight until your efforts are wasted. Distractions are the weeds of your mind. If you don't eliminate them, they will choke out your focus and leave you with little to show for your time. So, how do you eliminate distractions? First, identify them. Take a moment to reflect. What are the biggest distractions in your life? Is it unnecessary phone calls, endless conversations about trivial matters, a cluttered workspace? Or perhaps it's an internal distraction, like worrying about things you can't control. Write these distractions down. When you name them, you take the first step toward taking control of them. Next, create boundaries. Boundaries are your shield against distractions. They can be as simple as turning off notifications, closing your office door, or setting specific times for work and rest. I've seen people transform their productivity just by establishing one powerful boundary, dedicating blocks of time to deep, uninterrupted work. During this time, you focus on one thing and one thing only. No multitasking, no interruptions. Just pure focus. But don't stop there. Take a closer look at your environment. Does it encourage focus or does it invite distraction? A cluttered desk is like a magnet for your attention. Every piece of paper, every item out of place calls out to you, pulling your mind away from your work. A clean, organized workspace, on the other hand, fosters clarity and concentration. And one of the most important factors of your environment is people. Yes, people can be distractions too. Now, I'm not saying you should isolate yourself from the world, but you must be mindful of who and what you allow into your space when you're trying to focus. If someone consistently interrupts you or brings negativity into your environment, it's okay to set boundaries. Remember, your focus is your responsibility. Now, some distractions aren't external. They come from within. A wandering mind, self-doubt, or lack of energy can be just as disruptive as an external distraction. That's why it's important to take care of your physical and mental health. Get enough sleep, eat nourishing foods, and exercise regularly. A healthy body supports a focused mind. Here's the truth. Eliminating distractions isn't a one-time event. It's a daily practice. Distractions will always try to sneak back into your life. They may come in new forms or catch you off guard. But when you stay vigilant and committed to protecting your focus, you'll find it easier and easier to keep them at bay. Think of it this way. Every time you eliminate a distraction, you're reclaiming a piece of your time and energy. You're creating space for what truly matters. And over time, those small wins add up to massive results. So, be ruthless with distractions. Your focus is worth it. Next, strategy number 3. Master the art of single tasking. There's a myth that multitasking makes us more productive. But ask yourself, how often does trying to do multiple things at once leave you feeling scattered and unproductive? The truth is, multitasking divides your attention, and divided attention leads to divided results. If you want to stay focused and truly excel, you need to embrace single tasking, the art of giving one task your full, undivided attention until it's complete. Picture this. You're juggling several balls in the air, each representing a task. At first, it might seem manageable, even impressive. But as more balls are added, the harder it becomes to keep them in motion. Eventually, you drop one, then another. The same happens when you try to multitask in your life. Tasks slip through the cracks, quality suffers, and you feel overwhelmed. Single tasking, on the other hand, is like holding one ball and giving it your full focus. You can examine it, polish it, and ensure it's done to the best of your ability before moving on to the next. It's a deliberate, thoughtful approach that prioritizes depth over speed. To master single tasking, you need to start by choosing the most important task at hand. This is where your priorities come into play. Ask yourself, what is the one thing I can do right now that will make the biggest difference? Focus your energy on that task and block out everything else. Here's a practical way to approach it. Break your time into focused intervals. Set a timer for 30, 45, or even 60 minutes, and commit to working on one task during that time. No checking emails, no side conversations, just pure focus. When the timer goes off, take a short break. Then move on to the next task or another focused interval. This method trains your brain to stay engaged and resist the urge to wander. But single tasking isn't just about time, it's also about attention. How often do you start working on something only to get distracted by your thoughts? You think about what you're having for dinner, a conversation you had yesterday, or 100 other things. When this happens, gently bring your focus back to the task. Think of your mind as a muscle. The more you practice refocusing, the stronger your ability to concentrate becomes. Another key to single tasking is recognizing when to finish. Perfectionism can be its own form of distraction. It keeps you stuck on a task long after it's reached a point of completion. Learn to distinguish between good enough and going overboard. Remember, excellence doesn't mean endless tinkering. It means producing work that aligns with your highest standards within the time you've allotted. And here's an important tip. Minimize task switching. Every time you switch from one task to another, your brain has to recalibrate. This mental shift wastes time and drains energy. By staying on one task until it's done, or until you've made significant progress, you save yourself from the fatigue and inefficiency of constant switching. Single tasking isn't always easy, especially in a culture that celebrates busyness. But it's worth the effort. When you focus deeply on one task, you tap into a state of flow, a state where you're fully immersed and performing at your best. Time seems to slow down, distractions fade, and your productivity soars. Here's the bottom line. Doing one thing well is far more valuable than doing many things poorly. When you give your full attention to a single task, you're not just completing it. You're doing it with purpose, precision, and pride. And over time, this habit of single tasking builds momentum, helping you achieve more while feeling less overwhelmed. Now here's strategy number 4. Build a routine that protects your focus. Focus thrives on structure. Without a solid routine, your day becomes a series of reactions, reacting to interruptions, shifting priorities, and unexpected demands. But when you have a routine, you're in the driver's seat. You decide what gets your time and energy, and you build your day around your most important priorities. A well-crafted routine isn't restrictive. It's freeing. It removes the guesswork and helps you focus on what truly matters. Here's what I learned early on. The way you start your day sets the tone for everything that follows. Have you ever noticed that when you start the day feeling rushed, it seems like you're playing catch-up until bedtime? Contrast that with a day when you begin calmly and intentionally. You feel in control, and your focus naturally falls into place. That's why a powerful morning routine is one of the best tools for staying focused. It doesn't have to be complicated, but it does need to be consistent. Take time in the morning to prepare your mind and body for the day ahead. The key is to create a space where you can align with your intentions before the demands of the day take over. Once your day is in motion, a routine helps you stay grounded. Set specific blocks of time for your most important tasks. This concept, often called time blocking, ensures that you're dedicating focused periods to the things that matter most. If your priority is to work on a project, schedule a block of time where that's all you do. Protect that block like it's a meeting with your future success, because it is. But routines aren't just about work. They're about balance. You can't focus if you're constantly burned out or distracted by personal stress. Remember, focus is about quality, not quantity. A focused mind needs time to recharge. Now, what happens when life throws you a curveball? Because let's face it, no routine is immune to unexpected events. The secret is to build flexibility into your structure. If something disrupts your plan, adjust and keep going. Don't let one setback derail your entire day. Have a fallback routine, a simpler version of your ideal schedule that you can rely on during busy or chaotic times. Another important element of a focus-protecting routine is minimizing decision fatigue. Every decision you make during the day drains your mental energy. That's why so many successful people streamline their routines to reduce unnecessary choices. They might plan their meals in advance, wear similar types of clothing, or create a weekly schedule for recurring tasks. The fewer decisions you have to make, the more energy you have for what truly matters. Pay attention to how you end the day, too. A good routine doesn't just begin the day, it closes it. At the end of each day, take a few moments to reflect and prepare for tomorrow. Write down any lingering thoughts, set your priorities for the next day, and tidy up your workspace. This small act signals to your brain that it's time to rest and helps you start the next day with clarity. When you build a routine that protects your focus, you're not just organizing your time, you're reclaiming it. You're creating an environment where focus can thrive, where distractions are minimized, and where you can perform at your best. And the beauty of a routine is that the more you practice it, the more natural it becomes. What once required effort becomes second nature, allowing you to focus more deeply and achieve more consistently. Next, strategy number 5. Cultivate mental discipline through mindfulness. Focus doesn't just happen in the external world, it begins in the mind. To stay focused in a world filled with distractions, you must cultivate mental discipline. And one of the most effective ways to do this is through the practice of mindfulness. Mindfulness is the art of being present, fully engaged in the current moment, without judgment or distraction. It's about training your mind to stay where it is, rather than wandering off into the past or future. Now, this isn't some abstract idea. Think about how often your mind gets pulled in 100 directions. You might be working on a task, but suddenly you're thinking about a conversation you had last week or worrying about an event that hasn't even happened yet. These mental distractions drain your focus, and over time, they can leave you feeling scattered and unproductive. Mindfulness helps you take control of your thoughts and redirect your attention to where it needs to be. One way to cultivate mindfulness is through intentional breathing. It's simple, but powerful. The next time you feel your focus slipping, stop and take a deep breath. Pay attention to the sensation of the air entering your lungs and leaving your body. This small act brings you back to the present moment, grounding your attention and helping you refocus. Another powerful mindfulness practice is setting aside a few minutes each day to simply be still. You don't need any special tools or techniques, just a quiet place where you can sit without distractions. Close your eyes, take a few deep breaths, and focus on the present. When your mind starts to wander, gently bring it back to your breath or the sensations in your body. This practice isn't about eliminating thoughts. It's about learning to observe them without getting carried away. But mindfulness isn't limited to quiet moments of reflection. You can bring mindfulness into your daily life by practicing full engagement in whatever you're doing. If you're working on a task, give it your undivided attention. Notice the details, the textures, and the sensations of the work itself. If you're having a conversation, listen deeply without thinking about what you're going to say next. Here's an important point. Mindfulness isn't about perfection, it's about practice. There will be times when your mind wanders, and that's okay. The key is to notice when it happens and gently bring your focus back. Over time, this process strengthens your mental discipline, making it easier to stay focused, even in the midst of distractions. Mindfulness also helps you manage stress, which is a major barrier to focus. When you're stressed, your mind tends to race, jumping from one thought to another. But mindfulness creates a sense of calm and clarity, allowing you to approach challenges with a focused, solution-oriented mindset. It's like clearing the fog from your mental windshield. You can see the road ahead more clearly. Another benefit of mindfulness is that it improves your ability to prioritize. When your mind is calm and focused, it's easier to distinguish between what's urgent and what's important. You can approach your day with greater intentionality, choosing actions that align with your goals rather than reacting to every demand on your time. Here's something to consider. The more you practice mindfulness, the more natural it becomes. It's like training a muscle. At first, it might feel unfamiliar, even challenging. But with consistent effort, you'll notice a shift. Your mind becomes sharper, your focus stronger, and your ability to stay present more reliable. Focus isn't just about managing external distractions, it's about mastering your inner world. When you cultivate mindfulness, you create a foundation for lasting focus. You gain the ability to direct your attention with intention, no matter what's happening around you. And in a world full of noise, that's a skill worth developing. So that's strategy number 5. Cultivate mental discipline through mindfulness. Now here's strategy number 6. Recharge regularly to sustain your focus. Focus is a finite resource. Just like a muscle, your ability to concentrate weakens with overuse. To stay focused in a world brimming with distractions, you must recharge regularly. This isn't about working harder or longer. It's about working smarter. Taking time to rest and renew your energy ensures that your focus remains sharp and sustainable. Think of your focus like a candle. If you burn it continuously without care, it will melt away quickly, leaving you in darkness. But if you tend to it, giving it moments to rest and recover, it will burn brighter and longer. Too many people try to push through exhaustion, believing that powering through is a sign of strength. In reality, it's a recipe for burnout. One of the most effective ways to recharge your focus is by taking regular breaks throughout the day. These don't have to be long, 5 to 10 minutes is often enough, but they should be intentional. Step away from your work, stretch, take a walk, or simply sit quietly and breathe. These moments of rest allow your mind to reset and your energy to replenish. Here's a practical technique. Work in focused intervals followed by short breaks. You might work for 50 minutes, then take a 10-minute break. This rhythm mimics the natural cycles of your brain, which can only maintain intense focus for limited periods. By aligning your work with these cycles, you enhance both your productivity and your well-being. Another key to recharging your focus is getting enough sleep. Sleep isn't a luxury, it's a necessity. When you're sleep deprived, your ability to concentrate plummets and distractions become harder to resist. Aim for 7 to 8 hours of quality sleep each night. Create a bedtime routine that helps you wind down and avoid stimulating activities or caffeine before bed. Sleep is when your brain consolidates memories, processes information, and prepares for the challenges of the next day. Physical activity is another powerful way to recharge. Exercise boosts your energy, clears your mind, and improves your mood. It doesn't have to be intense. Simple activities like walking, stretching, or yoga can have a profound impact. The key is consistency. Make movement a regular part of your day, and you'll find that your focus lasts longer and feels stronger. But recharging isn't just about physical rest, it's about mental rejuvenation too. Do the things that inspire you. Read a book that excites your imagination. Listen to music that uplifts your spirit. Spend time in nature. These moments of joy and inspiration fill your mental reservoir, giving you the energy to tackle challenges with a fresh perspective. And remember, connection is so important. Spending time with loved ones, sharing laughter, and building meaningful relationships provide a different kind of recharge. Human connection reminds us of why we do what we do and brings balance to our lives. One of the most overlooked aspects of recharging is knowing when to step away completely. Sometimes, the best way to solve a problem or regain focus is to take a longer break, a weekend getaway, a day off, or even a few hours doing something unrelated to your work. When you return, you'll often find that solutions come more easily and your motivation is renewed. Recharging isn't a sign of weakness, it's a strategy for strength. When you prioritize rest and renewal, you're not just preserving your focus, you're enhancing it. You're building a foundation that allows you to perform at your best day after day without falling into the trap of exhaustion. Remember this, focus is a marathon, not a sprint. To stay in the game for the long haul, you need to pace yourself. Recharging regularly ensures that your focus remains a powerful tool, ready to serve you whenever you need it. Focus is one of the most valuable assets you can cultivate in a world that constantly pulls you in different directions. When you learn to direct your attention with intention, you unlock the power to achieve your goals, build meaningful relationships, and live a life of purpose. These 6 strategies aren't just tips, they're a roadmap to mastering your focus and guarding it against the countless distractions that surround us. Think about what you've gained today. You've learned the importance of defining your priorities with clarity, understanding what truly deserves your attention. You've recognized the need to eliminate distractions with unwavering determination, cutting away the noise to make room for progress. You've embraced single tasking as a tool to channel your energy into deep, meaningful work. And you've discovered how a solid routine can provide structure to support your focus. You've also seen how mindfulness can train your mind to stay present, sharpening your mental discipline and helping you manage internal and external distractions. And finally, you've explored the essential practice of recharging regularly, understanding that focus is a renewable resource that requires care and attention to sustain. The beauty of these strategies is that they work together. Each one strengthens and complements the others, creating a system that not only enhances your focus, but transforms the way you approach your days, your work, and your life. But remember this, knowledge without action is like a seed left unplanted. It holds potential, but it can't bear fruit. Take these strategies and put them into practice. Start small, maybe by defining your top 3 priorities or setting aside just 10 minutes a day to get your mind right. Build momentum, and over time, you'll notice a profound difference in your ability to stay focused and achieve meaningful results. Focus isn't just about doing more, it's about doing what matters. It's about aligning your actions with your values and your vision. It's about creating a life where your attention serves your goals rather than being scattered by distractions. So I leave you with this challenge. Guard your focus as if it were your most precious resource, because it is. Invest in it, nurture it, and protect it. When you do, you'll not only accomplish more, you'll find greater fulfillment and joy in the journey. Your focused mind is your greatest ally. Use it wisely